Calling to order the February 13th, 2025 Covina-Valley Unified School District Board of Education meeting at 5:40. Roll call.
Simon Wright,
Here.
Maria Caceres,
Here.
Rachel Robles,
Here.
Maria Cruz,
Here.
Sue Malucci.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Item 3, adoption of agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Don't move.
Motion by Ms. Robles. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Malucci. Any discussion? Roll call.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Item 4, public comments regarding closed session. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any closed session agenda items will be granted 3 minutes. Ms. Robles, do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Okay, at this time, we'll adjourn to closed session to discuss all items listed at 5:41. We'll reconvene to open session at 7:15. Item 7, Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Paredes.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Isabel Tennyson, 5th grader at Manzanita Elementary School, and Denise Crespo Munoz, 5th grade at Merwin Elementary. And if I could ask both of their principals to come on up with them. And the ladies will lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance. Sorry.
Please stand, remove your hats, and place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Board President Wright, Board of Education, Dr. Emmenheiser, Cabinet, and guests. Please allow me to introduce the Manzanita 5th grader that I have before you today. Her name is Isabel Tennyson, and she is an amazing 5th grader. Not only is she my student council president, she was a millionaire reader in 1st grade, a 2 millionaire reader in 2nd grade, a 3 millionaire word reader in 3rd grade, a 4 millionaire word reader in 4th grade, and her goal this year is to be a 5 millionaire reader. She is bilingual, biliterate. She also got a perfect score on the math CASP test last year. So she is an incredible, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for her.
Good evening, Board President Wright, Board of Education members, Dr. Emmenheiser, Cabinet members, and guests. My name is Isabel Tennyson, a proud 5th grader from Manzanita Elementary Dual Language Magnet, and I am here to tell you about my school. Manzanita Elementary is great in many different ways, but the one thing that sets Manzanita apart is the dual language program. The dual language program at Manzanita is amazing. It teaches us not only to speak, read, and write in Spanish, but also about different cultures and customs. We celebrate the culture throughout the year, including at our end of the year showcase performance. The appreciation for other cultures at Manzanita relates with one of my favorite activities, the mariachi band. Students are able to join the mariachi band in addition to the traditional band. The mariachi band teaches us how to play the ukulele, the guitar, and the vihuela, as well as sing and perform Spanish music. Another one of my favorite activities is student council. I always love the activities that the student council put together and couldn't wait to be a part of it. This year, I'm so excited to be student council president and get to work with the other students to bring fun activities and events to our school. Student Council has led several spirit days, sold candy kilograms, and put together service projects to help our community. One of my favorite subjects at school is art. At Manzanita, we have the Great Artist Program, which helps us learn about art and different artists. It also gives easy videos on how to draw in that artist style. My favorite place at school is the library. The Manzanita Library is amazing, not only because of the many books it has in English or Spanish, but because of all the programs and activities our librarian, Ms. Ricker, puts together. These activities motivate us to continue reading and explore different kinds of books. Manzanita always encourages students to learn and grow in different ways. One of these ways is the Kinder Buddies program. The 4th and 5th grade students are paired up with kindergartners and help them read or do activities. My Kinder Buddy is amazing, and I always look forward to seeing her. I always love being able to work with her. I can't talk about the great things about Manzanita without mentioning the people that make Manzanita the best, our teachers and staff. My current teacher for 5th grade, Miss Hernandez, is amazing. I've been so lucky to have Miss Hernandez in kindergarten as well as 4th and 5th grade. She's basically taught me everything I know. Miss Hernandez constantly supports me and continues to challenge me to do better. Lastly, I'd like to mention our principal, Dr. Mosman. She's an incredible principal who coordinates great activities for students that help us learn and grow. Dr. Mosman cares about every single student and encourages everybody to do their best at all times. I cannot imagine a better principal than Dr. Mosman. Thank you for this opportunity to tell you how great my school at Manzanita Elementary is. Have a great rest of your night.
Great job. Thank you, Isabel, for sharing all the wonderful things about Manzanita. Again, good evening, Board President Wright, Board of Education, Dr. Emmenheiser, Cabinet, and all of our guests today. Please allow me to introduce Merwin 5th grader, Denise Crespo Munoz. Denise represents the best of the best at Merwin. She is a member of our student leadership. She's involved in our after-school programs and a principal honor roll recipient many times. And the best part, she just goes out of her way every single day to make our school and the people at our school a better place to be. I'm so proud of all that she has accomplished here at Merwin, and I'm excited to see her continued success in the future. Denise, floor is yours. Have fun.
Good evening. My name is Denise Crespo Munoz. I am in the 5th grade and attend Merwin Elementary School. Thank you for the opportunity to share all the wonderful things about my school. Merwin is a great school because of the nice staff and kind teachers. We have so many great people. Every day, as students, we try to be magnificent Mustangs by following our primary character traits of respectful, responsible, ready, and safe. As students, we really do get along with each other and as a result, create very strong friendships. There are many programs and activities at Merwin that I enjoy, such as our Saturday School enrichment programs. A couple weeks ago, I had a great time with the special STEM activities at our Gate Saturday School. The Marble Maze activity was the most challenging, but we felt so accomplished when we finished. One of my favorite events is our extra recesses. We have a few extra recesses to recognize positive attendance and also good effort at the end of each trimester. I love to play with my friends after a busy and stressful work week. I'm really looking forward to our annual end of the year 5th grade kickball game. I've been able to watch the kickball game the last 3 years, but I'm so excited to be able to play this year. I've also greatly enjoyed field trips during my time at Merwin. This year, we traveled to the California Science Center and also visited the City of Arundel City Hall for a special civic event with city officials. Once a month, we also walk to Arundel Library and have the opportunity to check out books. Right now, I'm really enjoying the Who Was series and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I'm working towards becoming a millionaire reader. I promise my mom. And last, I'm appreciative of our PTA for planning community events for us, like our trunk or treat, dinner with Santa, and our Valentine's Day sweetheart dance. I've been lucky to have many great teachers. Mrs. Riggs in 4th grade helped me in math, science, and STEM projects, and Mrs. Waltz in 5th grade has helped me with organization and structure as we prepare for middle school. Ms. Christina, our secretary, is kind and honest and has empowered me to be confident. I'm going to greatly miss all the teachers and staff next year, but I'll especially miss saying our school chant every morning. Mustangs run wild, read, understand, and never give up. I plan to attend Las Palmas Middle School next year and then Northview High School. After high school, I want to attend UC Santa Barbara, my 3rd grade class from college with Mr. Peterson. My goal is to study medicine and become a doctor. In closing, I would like to thank Mr. Stratton for believing in me. A big thank you to all the Merwin teachers and staff for always being there for us. And thank you to the whole school district for always supporting our schools. And most importantly, I want to thank my mom and dad, as well as my grandparents, for always believing in me and pushing me to try new things. Thank you again for letting me share about my school. Have a nice evening.
Item A, report of action taken in closed session. There was no action taken. Item 9, recognition. Item A, employees of the month, Dr. Dahl and Mr. Jacobson.
Good evening, Board President Wright, board members, Dr. Emmenheiser, Cabinet, community, and guests. I'm thrilled to announce our January Employees of the Month. These outstanding individuals who represent our certificated and classified and administrative staff exemplify the dedication and excellence that drive our district's success. Tonight, we do have 5. Unfortunately, 2 could not attend due to the rain and a family commitment, but we will still talk about them and recognize them. So our first employee of the month is Joe Veazey. Come on up. Sorry, he's not here. Joe could not be with us tonight. He, though, is the head custodian at Northview High School, and he is amazing. And everybody who knows him gives him big shout outs, and we are so lucky to have him. Our next employee of the month is Yessie Reyes.
Yessie is our school family community liaison at Cypress Elementary School, and she's recognized for her unwavering commitment to fostering a strong sense of community and connection. Each morning, she's a welcoming presence at drop-off, ensuring the safety of students and families while creating an inviting atmosphere each and every day at Cypress. For many families, she's been their first meaningful connection to Cypress Elementary, offering guidance and reassurance as they navigate their school journey. Her dedication also extends to PTA, where she serves as treasurer, always ready to lend a helping hand. Her approachability, commitments, and tireless efforts to bring people together exemplify the spirit of collaboration and service, and we are proud to honor Yessie Reyes as Employee of the Month for her outstanding contributions to the school community. Congratulations.
I want to add that I got to know Yessie really well last year through the leadership seminars that Dr. Emmenheiser gave, and we got to bond and connect at Gettysburg, which was an amazing event. So congratulations. Our next employee of the month is, put my glasses on, Bree Sapienza from Sierra Vista Middle School. Please come up. Bree is a web and STEM teacher at Sierra Vista Middle School, and she is being recognized for her dedication to student success and innovation in education. As the leader of the web program, she empowers our 8th graders with leadership skills, allowing them to mentor and support incoming 6th graders as they transition into our middle school. Her innovative lessons have been recognized by LEGO, further showcasing the impact of her work. Those who work alongside her, including her PLC partners, have witnessed firsthand the dedication and inspiration she brings to her role every single day. We are proud to have her as a teacher in Covina-Valley Unified School District. Our next employee of the month, Doug Graham from South Hills High School. Unfortunately, he could not join us tonight, but once again, he is an outstanding teacher who comes to school every day at 7:15 a.m. I think Brock's still asleep at that time. At 7:15 a.m. to tutor his students and to provide office hours. He even stays in during his lunchtime and after school to work with his students. We are very lucky to have him in Covina-Valley. And we have one more.
It's my pleasure to introduce Ryan Maddox, the principal of Tri-Community Adult Education. Ryan's recognized for his exceptional leadership, unwavering support, and the inspiration he brings to his team every day. His return to Tri-Community after a brief transfer to Northview High School was met with overwhelming joy, as his presence has been instrumental in fostering a strong, positive environment. Ryan's leadership motivates staff to perform at their best, creating a culture of excellence and dedication. His commitment to Tri-Community Adult Ed and its mission is truly invaluable, and we're proud to honor him as Employee of the Month. One more piece, Ryan was also selected by AXA Region 15, which represents over 40 districts in the greater Los Angeles area, as the Adult Education Principal or Administrator of the Year. Congratulations, Mr. Maddox. At this time, I'm going to ask all employees of the month to leave your plaques where they are by your seats, but come on up with your flowers and we're going to take some pictures.
Item B, bodylock.org. Dr. Blackmore.
Thank you, Board President Wright, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Emmenheiser, cabinet members and guests. I'm pleased to recognize bodylock.org for its leadership team tonight. So could I please ask if they're here for Warren Reed Jr., the chairman, Stephen Mark Jepson, the CFO, Jose Sosa, the director, David Alvarado, the director, and Ricky Lopez, the director, to please join me up here if they're here tonight. So tonight's recognition is a wonderful tribute to members of our community who are giving back to the school district that gave to them. These gentlemen are alumni of South Hills High School, and they've done so much to support the wrestling programs in all of Covina-Valley over the last several years. So tonight, we proudly recognize Body Lock for donating over $65,000 in cash, gifts, and services since March of 2024 to support Covina-Valley Wrestling. Their generosity has provided elite training, competition access, scholarships, and essential gear, opening doors for student athletes across our district. And I'd like to highlight some of these contributions. They provide elite training camps. They've spent over $11,000 to send 6 boys to attend the Mark Munoz Carlsbad Summer Camp, covering housing and meals. Perhaps their most impressive contribution was funding 5 wrestlers from South Hills and Northview to attend the prestigious 30-day Young Guns Wrestling Camp in Pennsylvania, covering their flights, accommodations, and spending allowance for a total of $30,000 for these wrestlers to go back. Places our athletes in one of the most elite wrestling environments in the country. They provided over 20 clinics with California State Champion and South Hills alum Thomas Williams across our schools. They provide competition and scholarships. They've covered coaches' travel to national tournaments and funded CAGWA and USA Wrestling memberships for over 50 wrestlers. They've awarded 5 scholarships, three girls, 2 boys, to the Legacy Wrestling Center, totaling $5,100. And they've also provided gear and facilities, up to 15 pairs of wrestling shoes, custom rash guards, shorts, and coaches' gear. The generosity and commitment of Body Lock has created invaluable opportunities for our student athletes, removing financial barriers, increasing access to elite training, and fostering a culture of excellence in wrestling. On behalf of the Board of Education, I'd like to extend our deepest appreciation for your ongoing investment in our students, coaches, and athletic programs. Your impact will be felt years to come. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good evening, Board President Wright, members of the board, Dr. Emmenheiser, members of cabinet, and guests that are here this evening. I am so pleased to introduce to you students from our dual immersion programs that will be participating in some cultural presentations for you today. And this evening, we are going to start with our mariachi students from Manzanita Elementary School under the direction of our music teachers, Mr. Daniel Ruvalcaba and Mr. Raymond Fong. Thank you so much, Manzanita students. Next, we will have our mariachi students from Las Palmas join us. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Fong and Mr. Rubalcaba for their time. They do teach mariachi after school at Manzanita and early on Friday mornings at Las Palmas. Thank you. And our mariachi friends are going to have a finale with our Manzanita students singing while our Las Palmas students play. And I should also commend our Las Palmas students for getting up for a 0-period class on Friday mornings as well. That takes a lot of commitment. Thank you so much, mariachi students. Next, we have our 2nd grade dual language students from Mesa Elementary under the direction of their teachers, Mrs. Xu and Mr. Gilden.
每条大街小巷，每个人的嘴里，见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。每条大街小巷，每个人的嘴里，见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。每条大街小巷，每个人的嘴里，见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。每条大街小巷，每个人的嘴里，见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。 跳大街小巷，每个人的嘴里见面第一句话就是恭喜恭喜，恭喜恭喜恭喜你呀，恭喜恭喜恭喜你。
Thank you, Mesa second graders. Those were amazing performances. Thanks to all our dual language students and parents. We have certificates for all of the students that we will meet out in the lobby to hand out. Thank you so much.
Item D, 2024-25 National School Public Relations Association, NSPRA Superintendent to Watch Award. Dr. Blackmore?
Thank you. I'd like to ask our superintendent, Dr. Emmenheiser, to please join me up at the podium. Board President Wright, members of the board, our superintendent, Dr. Emmenheiser, and guests, I am very pleased to recognize Dr. Elizabeth Emmenheiser as the National Schools Public Relations Association Superintendent to Watch for 24-25. The Superintendents to Watch program recognizes up to 25 superintendents nationwide who have been in their role for fewer than 5 years and demonstrate dynamic, fast-paced leadership with a strong focus on communication. This prestigious award highlights superintendents who are innovators in school public relations and community engagement using modern communication strategies such as social media, digital outreach, and transparent messaging to effectively connect with students, families, staff, and the broader community. Honorees in this program are leaders who prioritize student success, foster collaboration, and implement creative solutions to engage their school districts. They are seen as trailblazers in educational leadership, setting an example for others by ensuring communication and engagement are at the heart of their decision-making processes. Dr. Emmenheiser stands out for her strategic leadership, commitment to student success, and excellence in communication. She has transformed Covina-Valley Unified School District by strengthening leadership development, enhancing community engagement, and expanding student voice in decision-making. Dr. Emmenheiser was recognized for innovative approaches to communication, launching initiatives using multiple platforms to reach all members of the school community. These efforts have earned multiple NSPRA and California School Public Relations Association awards, making Covina-Valley a model for effective public relations, communication, and engagement. She will be recognized in July in Washington, D.C. at the National NSPRA conference this summer. I proudly present Dr. Elizabeth Emmenheiser for her outstanding leadership, vision, and dedication to Covina-Valley Unified School District. Thank you.
Item 10, presentations. Item A, Local Control and Accountability Plan Mid-Year Report. Dr. Paredes?
Thank you, President Wright. I'd like to invite Dr. Kearns to the stand. She's already there. She'll be giving our presentation on the Local Control and Accountability Plan mid-year update. And I'd like to invite Dr. Dalton and Dr. Katanik after she's done passing out there. They're going to be helping in the presentation tonight.
Good evening, Board President Wright, Board of Education, Dr. Emmenheiser, cabinet members, community, and guests. The purpose of tonight's presentation is to share a mid-year update on Covina-Valley's LCAP implementation. Joining me from the Educational Service team are Dr. Katanik and Dr. Dalton. A key aspect of the local control funding formula requires every district to develop a 3-year LCAP. The plan outlines the district's goals, expected outcomes, specific actions, and how the funds will be allocated to support the process. We are in year 1 of our 3-year LCAP implementation. Every year, we engage our educational partners for the LCAP annual review and update. Our LCAP is built around 3 main goals that align with our board's priorities and address key areas of need, along with an educational equity multiplier goal. These goals focus on improving student achievement, reducing chronic absenteeism by fostering engagement and positive learning environments, and strengthening the effectiveness of our support systems.
Goal 1 focuses on college and career eligibility and preparedness for all students. Goal 2 focuses on ensuring the highest level of achievement by implementing innovative research-based programs and practices. Goal 3 creates school-wide programs of engagement that foster positive environments to connect our students to their school and learning. And Goal 4, or our Equity Multiplier Focus Goal, strengthens support systems at CVLOA and Fair Valley to improve educational opportunities and effectiveness. Supplemental and concentration grant funds vary yearly based on the district's unduplicated count, which includes our low-income students, English learners, and foster youth. LCFF requires each district to provide evidence in its LCAP to demonstrate how they plan to increase and/or improve services for students who are low-income English learners and foster youth compared to the services that are provided to all students. Goal 1, as you can see here, focuses on preparing students for college and career. Highlights of Goal 1 actions include our continued expansion of career technical education pathways, including the aviation pathway at Covina High and cosmetology offered to all high school students at Trade Tech. AVID, Pre-AP, IB programs are providing free college readiness exams, prepare our students for higher education and careers. This year, we added college campus field trips at each level, elementary, middle, and high school. All 3rd grade students, all 7th grade students, and all 12th graders are visiting junior colleges, Cal States, UCs, or private universities. There have been 10 college field trips to date and another 22 scheduled through the end of the school year. Additionally, emphasizing financial literacy and essential soft skills development equips students with the necessary tools for personal and professional success. On the next slide, Dr. Dalton will share data from our new college and career planning aptitude tests as part of our increased college and career readiness counseling and support system. But before we do that, does the board have any input on Goal 1 for the 25-26 LCAP?
So, do we have any new partnerships and internships? What has been added for this school year?
Yeah, we are working currently with Jobs USA, which is at all 4 sites at the comprehensives in Fair Valley that are giving students the opportunity to work right now and get paid to work. They are working on the soft skills that Dr. Kearns talked about right now. And then when they're done with their pre-work part, they are then given the opportunity to actually be hired with jobs. It works to our advantage because the companies that are hiring our students are getting paid through Jobs USA, and our kids are also getting paid to do the same. We're also working on pre-apprenticeship program at Northview High School right now with the FAME program. And then we also have a pre-apprenticeship program at Adult Ed that they are working on with students that go through the program there as well. And then our focus is to get kids ready for both job and opportunities in the summer, whether it's summer school or jobs or internships throughout the summer. I know that we're looking right now as well as also having some of our students work again with our district in different capacities within internships as well.
And what do our professional learning communities look like?
Yeah, I mean, we can both speak to those. So we're working actually currently at the last principals meeting. We actually had a lot of work with our principals. We have a lot of new principals over the course of the last several years that are now also getting professional developed in terms of what like both PLCs, what ILTs are looking like, what the information is being pushed back to the sites. I know at the secondary level, the focus is on the focus, which is data, which is looking at student achievement, not school businesses or things like that, but the actual focus on looking at pre-assessments, post-assessments, where students are setting goals, being able to come up with different opportunities for students to achieve it at higher rates, looking at benchmarks, looking at district assessments, looking at the blueprints and different pieces for CASP, as well as science and CASP and everything else as well.
Now, do we only come together as grade level at sites, or do we do content areas throughout our district as well, where all of our staff is sharing best practices?
Yeah,
with each other?
there are breakouts that all the sites do provide. So they get full day opportunities in departments at the secondary level where they can work together both within a school and then within the school. So at like a secondary level, different departments will work together on different assignments or different benchmarks, or we're also looking at different pacing guides, those kind of pieces. Anything from the elementary?
Yes, we get together 2 to 3 times a year for what we call grade level articulation. So that's when our teachers from across the district get together, all of our third grade teachers and so on for each grade level and share ideas, best practices. Those are a little bit less PLC-like in that we're not usually looking at data at those. We reserve that for that time on Tuesday where we bank our time from the rest of the week. So we have early out on Tiny Tuesday, and that's when our elementary and middle school teachers meet in their PLCs twice a month.
Now, do we provide anything for our classified employees? Are they a part of this? Do they share in the knowledge of the benchmarks? Do they know about this information? Anybody who works with our children as an aide, supporting anything, any supports, right? Like anybody who's tutoring, anybody who's is a resource specialist, right? Do they engage in those conversations as well with our PLCs?
They have trainings, but they're not a part of the Tuesday PLC time. But we do have trainings that are part of whatever there were. If they're a reading teacher, then we have reading training. We have one coming up with Linda Mood Bell, working with them on small groups and what to use during their small groups and what best meets the needs of their students. If they're working with special education students, then we have trainings that are geared towards helping them in those environments. So depending on where they're working, we have trainings and meetings together to talk about and train them on what's pertinent to their position.
May I jump in? We also, the personnel department, we're currently developing a professional development plan for our classified for spring break and for the summer that would focus on various professional development opportunities for them. And we work very closely with Ed Services and special education and student services to develop those trainings.
Yeah, the new district BCBA and some of the program specialists just did a great behavior training for principals, but also it got pushed down to the sites. So for the instructional aides that are in the sites as well too. So yeah, and then on our articulation day where it was a pupil-free day, Dr. Dahl said there was a lot of opportunity for both classified and certificated students or employees rather to choose which options that they wanted to do for a full day training.
Thank you.
I had a question in regards to the financial literacy education and essential soft skills. Are these courses or classes that students choose, or how are they being disseminated across like the district?
Yeah, we're currently working on like that exact piece. It's part of the new LCAP, and the goal is to make it a more accessible thing for all students at the high school, financial literacy. Working with a company right now to kind of develop what that looks like. But yeah, currently right now you would have to choose to be part of that class, which is offered at some of the sites.
Okay, so we're actually going to share some data, and Dr. Dalton's going to lead us in that. Oops.
So as part of our CTE plan that we talked about at the beginning of the year, we've partnered with a company called Encourage. We've provided both our middle school and high school students with an opportunity to gain deeper insights into their strengths, their interests, and their future aspirations. We gave them an aptitude test. It was administered at the school sites. The aptitude empowered students to explore their post-secondary plans, military interests, potential college majors, extracurricular passions, career goals. And beyond that, it helped them to kind of define what they want in the college experience, considering factors like campus size, location, social environment, learning opportunities. But looking up at the screen here, looking at the results, we can see that a majority of students across all the grade levels are very interested in attending a public or a state college or university, followed by a private college and then career technical schools. This highlights our college-going culture that we demonstrate here. We also show that there's an interest in the workforce pathways like apprenticeships. When it comes to the career interest side, we see a lot of our students who are exploring different diverse fields. The top categories that they chose were health and medicine, business and finance, law and criminal justice, art and entertainment, and then architecture and engineering. And with this information that students get, our hope is that the students have just another resource that they can use to explore a more tailored approach to college and career options, and a resource that will help them make better informed decisions when they get to that time.
Can I just add that this is also great data to use when we are, the career fairs coming up, to really like maybe look for people in this field that can really speak to it, or organizations in the community.
Yeah, and we've made an extra effort this year in bringing the careers to the site. So all 4 high schools have had on-site career days already. Well, actually, South Hills, the other 2 are coming up right in the next month, where a lot of this data is how we tailored the invites to who we bring onto campus and that the students have access to ask questions to, have hands-on data, get brochures, get applications, opportunities to get jobs right away, and or at least find out more about the information that they're providing.
I can't thank you enough for including our 4th high school.
Of course, always.
Goal 2 is driven by the implementation of innovative research-based programs that enhance student achievement. Some of the key initiatives you can see on the screen include English learner support, one-to-one device access, early elementary support, extended library hours, and increased instructional time. Professional development, it remains a priority throughout the district, with multiple training sessions and coaching on new science and ELD curriculum with standards alignment. Additionally, our instructional aides have benefited from sessions on how to use Linda Mood Bell seeing stars and visualizing and verbalizing for small group instruction. A district team of administrators and counselors also engaged in MTSS professional development at the county level, and our training site MTSS teams on the framework designed to provide targeted student supports based on academic, behavioral, and social emotional needs. Our growing dual language programs will benefit from a team of teachers that will be attending CABE conference this year in March. And our secondary dual language sites have, with Dr. Dalton's aid, planned some local program visits in March. Additional efforts such as summer school and comprehensive new teacher support further strengthen student and teacher success. Does the board have any input for Goal 2 for the 25-26 LCAP?
Just want to share, today when I picked up my son from South Hills, he's going to be a junior in the coming year. And he was telling me he chose his classes for next year. And I just want to highlight that having a 7 period really allows our students, especially as they get, more advanced, like now that he's going to be a junior, he's interested in the medical field, but he is also able to take metal fabrication next year. So he can continue with his medical pathway and still be able to do all of his other requirement classes and be able to do, metal fabrication. So I thought that was just, I wanted to highlight that I think it's such a good thing that we offer that, because we really, every day he changes his mind. Today he wants to think about going to the Navy. The other day was the Army. So, but it's great that they get to explore that and have those options in both the academic as well as, possible trades.
Dr. Kearns and I talked to the high school kids about these exact things, and that actually just came up as well too. One of the things we ask about is like, what is something that our district does that excels, that other districts or other schools or other friends that you have don't? And they mentioned very much about the support of the 7-period day, the options, the CTE pathways, the electives, and that they're able to branch off on so many different directions that they feel so prepared for college and or career. And then as a former high school principal, the 7-period day is made it such a better environment. You gave kids more options for graduation, more credits, more electives, all of those things. So it's a blessing that we have in our district.
In regards to our dual language program, when will it be starting at the high school and where are we there?
So we are starting at Northview High School next year. And then the following year, we will be starting at South Hills for the Mandarin program. That is part of the reason why Dr. Dalton is taking groups to see other high schools that are running dual language programs so we can solidify. We made a plan many years ago when we started the program that was a kindergarten through 12th grade program. But as we approach high school, we want to make sure we are using the most up-to-date information to plan our classes and programs.
Now, the students who are at the middle school right now,
Mhm.
have we maintained those kids in that program or have some of them just kind of decided, they don't want to do?
Yes, we have lost some students along the way, either to moving too far away from Covina-Valley to continue here, or students who didn't feel as successful in dual language and preferred to be an English-only program. So they stayed in Covina-Valley, but not necessarily in the program. I would say that's more students from our older classes. Now that we have really solidified our program at the elementary level, it has a great reputation and students want to stay in the program through elementary school and go to our middle school and to our high schools to complete the program.
I've seen other districts where, it gets lost and it kind of dissolves in
This is
middle school and high school, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
want something like that to happen to us. So I'm glad you're doing those walks. You're taking that team.
This is another time that the 7-period day helps our students at the middle and high school level because they're able to participate in other programs like band and ASB and other CTE programs that they want to be a part of and still be a part of the dual language program. So the 7-period day is huge in helping that as well.
And then our multi-tiered system of supports. What does it look like? Do we have any data? I would like to see data shared. I know our deans were something that were added not so long ago. We did, when we decided on adding deans, we did request that we wanted to have data, to show every year on, the progression, how they're being used, and how they're supporting our students.
Yeah, we could definitely pull that data for you. We don't have it available now, but in terms of the original question on the MTSS, we've made a concerted effort to take a wide group of people to a 5-part series, full-day trainings at the county level. Those teams meet in addition to the full-day meetings, also in additional meetings just within the district to develop what MTSS looks like in our district. And what we've realized is we do a lot of MTSS. It's just a little bit different at all of the sites. So our goal this year is to bring it all together to create an actual framework around what MTSS looks like for Covina-Valley. We've been making a priority within Ed Services to make sure that at all the principals meetings, we're talking about MTSS. Our goal this year is to have MTSS teams built at all of the school sites so that the schools and the teachers and all the classifieds start to understand their role in what MTSS looks like at the different tiered levels of what 1, 2, and 3 looks like, or universal all the way to intensive. We're right now in the process of putting all of those pieces together, and our goal is to have an actual complete guidebook at the very end of the year that's specific to our district in the relationship to what we provide for interventions and opportunities within that pathway. We look at different MTSS programs, but we offer a lot of things that a lot of the MTSS programs don't here in Covina-Valley. So we're kind of merging it all together with the intent that at the start of next school year, from a unified standpoint, which is what I love the most, all the schools will hit the ground running with all of the different approaches that we have to help all of our students at all of the different levels. And what we've discovered is that we are doing a lot already. It's pretty impressive. That the fun part of looking into MTSS and trying to develop it more is realizing how much we already do. It's just about the unification of what that process looks like so that if you went from Mesa to Branca, you would still have the same intervention opportunities and the same resources from the district support standpoint.
I'm ready for the next.
Okay, we'll go on to goal 3. So goal 3 fosters a school-wide system of engagement, a program of engagement. On your screen, you can see the highlights of goal 3 actions, which include creating high-quality learning environments, which include STEM programs and the expansion of the arts education to engage students. This year, additional art sections are being offered across our middle and high school campuses, including the new ceramics class at Fair Valley. Saturday school, extended day interventions, and positive behavior supports enhance academic and behavioral outcomes for our students. So additionally, we are adding additional supports for our parents based on a parent education survey that was given this fall. Departments have updated our district website for parent support to include parent training resources and some videos on demand, which were what were requested by our parents. In response to survey results, community engagement opportunities and parent workshops have been held primarily at the school sites, with some sessions being held at the Health and Wellness Center and at the district office. Topics have included this year so far mental health and wellness support, basic parenting skills, academic support, college, career, and FAFSA workshops, and digital literacy, just to name a few. This year, with the support of our new CTE coordinator, we have also strengthened our CTE partnerships with organizations like Job for America to offer essential job skills and hands-on experiences. We also have the ability for the potential of paid internships to enhance student engagement. Additionally, we have extended and expanded certifications and guest speaker sessions for every single pathway across the district. We also are hosting our first CTE showcase, highlighting every CTE pathway and gathering industry feedback to stay aligned with the emerging trends that drive continuous improvement. So after reviewing goal 3 highlights with you, does the board have any input or questions on goal 3?
What are we doing to improve and increase parents and family participation? Give me some examples of what are we doing to include families and parents in their students or their children's education?
So based on the survey results that we received back in the fall, one of the highlights that was an aha to us was that parents wanted more individualized parent opportunities on their campus. They didn't necessarily want to come to like a district office or like one setting in a central location. They felt more comfortable in a smaller setting at their school site. So we've given that information to our school sites, to our principals, to our outreach liaisons, to our counselors, to be able to provide that. We also have conducted at the school sites some individual surveys to ask, what specifically of interest to them. So, for example, I also surveyed our principals and our outreach liaisons on what supports and some of the trainings that they've provided thus far. We have had partnerships with the Department of Health, the County Department of Health, who have partnered and come and shared different mental health supports and community resources with our families.
What's the hook? Like, I mean, that's the question we should be asking ourselves all the time is how do we keep our families involved in their children's education?
Yeah, so actually last evening, this came up at our, this goal was the focus of last evening's parent advisory, and we asked the parents that were there. We talked about some things like sharing with the principals that I think it was Workman to get their parents to come. They offer Pride Bucks, which can be used in the principal store. So if the parents come to the parent ed, they get the Pride Bucks and then their students can spend in the principal store, things like that. So incentives, they said when we can offer opportunities, obviously, for childcare. And again, catering it to the things that they want. So again, we always are wanting additional supports for our families and hosting additional events, but finding the right time too. We've offered, our school sites have tried morning sessions and, evening sessions to see, is there a greater need? We also have, yes, I know at Cypress, Yessie, the wonderful community outreach liaison, when they have their partnerships with the county mental health, they also offer it virtually, like a hybrid. So if parents can't attend in person, they can participate online.
They also mentioned how proud they were of all the communication that goes out. So they love Parent Square. They said that's a key for information. Also the social media. So good job, JB. There was a lot about social media. They did mention that we have so much that if we could help the parents, like how to use those communication social pieces. But they were really excited about how much information they get of things that are happening and things they're invited to.
7 of our schools are also community schools, and one of the pillars of the community school is parent engagement. And so those schools make a concerted effort to bring parents onto campus. We're also partnered with Yale Ruler, so a lot of the nighttime activities are based off of teaching parents the concept of emotional intelligence. But yeah, as 3 former principals up here, one of our biggest challenges was always getting parents to the school side.
Did you ever know before in your previous experience that parents wanted private tours of campuses?
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave
Well, you said it
hundreds
was
and
an
hundreds
aha
of
moment,
tours.
so I'm just curious to see, how much has that been employed,
Yeah, I can tell you specifically at South Hills, like it was a priority to get as many people on campus as possible. We had a whole system set in place where when a parent came on campus, they got a full 30-minute tour. They got into classrooms. They left with swag. And if they were out, we gave them an interdistrict permit and said, sign it before they left. So we made a huge priority to get people onto campus when it came to tours. And I know I'm not just the only one. I know a lot of our
What
campuses.
are our middle schools doing?
What are they doing to get parents on
Yes,
campus?
On campus.
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the things that we sit down and talk about all the time at like the breakout groups or within our triads for the middle school principals is trying to figure out like what that catch is, right? What we've discovered is parents still want to know what that college and career aspect looks like. So right now we're looking at PK and adding additional classes second semester for some of our families, but tiered in with both the feeder, so like the middle and the high school families together so they can kind of work together in that capacity. Avid has been a great avenue for a lot of our kids at the sites as well too. A lot of the families are engaged in what that looks like in terms of the college going culture or the career aspect. And so we're looking at the programs that we have. We're not trying to overwhelm the parents with too many because sometimes too much is too much, but trying to find like the right time, the right niche, the right virtual or in person, morning, afternoon kind of opportunities. I don't know if I answered your question, but
Something that I would like to see at the middle school, whenever we have a new family that comes to our district or whenever we start, a new school year, kind of like a welcome package. And what does it look like? What does our school system look like? What if they're typically they're meeting with the students on their classes, but also sharing that with their parents. I find that there's times when we're not sharing that information with our parents. We're not informing them about Parent Square. Yes, a lot of districts already have it, but we also need to be mindful that we also have people who come from other countries and they don't have Parent Square.
Yeah.
In other countries.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Are we sitting down with those, families, and how are we, expressing the wealth of resources that we have?
I know from an elementary standpoint, the outreach liaisons have made a huge difference in that
Yes.
capacity, both in the personal aspect of being able to call and speak to the language of the parents that needed the information. I know at the middle school level, we now have 2 counselors at each site. We also have social workers that support all of the areas. So they do an incredible amount of personal support for vulnerable families in all aspects. The amount of time they spend hours after school, during school, the health and wellness center at the site itself is pretty incredible.
Now, where are we providing this information for the parents? I know like today when, I was reviewing this and writing up my notes, I went to our website and there really isn't anything there that provides the information of what is our wellness center, what do we provide at our wellness center,
Well,
right?
I know we're going
I
through.
know that
Sorry.
you did a great job bringing things in,
Mhm.
but what have after you left, right, that position, what have we added? What have we brought? What is new?
Yeah, and
Because that, and the way I see it, that should be growing,
yeah.
and it should not just stay with whatever resources you brought in and that's it, right?
Yeah, and
should
it is growing. I know I work with Mr. Sanchez. I still work very closely. I mean, oversee the counselors as well too, and then I work very closely with the social workers. It is growing. The number of families that have gone through that center there's already more this year that they've visited than all of last year combined. I do believe there is resources on the website. I know we're going through a change in the
Maybe
website, but
Mr. Sanchez can come up and tell us something.
That easy. Thank you.
Good evening. Great question. I'm glad you asked because Ann and I have been working closely together on how do we promote? How do we promote the Health and Wellness Center, especially with the fires recently? How do we push it out more? And it's a matter of creating flyers, getting them to the school sites, having the schools promote to their parents at their meetings, through their students, through their parent groups, is the way we've been pushing it out. There is a QR code where families can go on there, register, and end up getting the support. The numbers have been growing. Right now, the room with supplies, we are looking to store them, trying to find another small space to be able to store the excess amount of clothing that we have, donations that have been provided. Fair Valley is trying to open their own little corner to support the students in the community in that area. So we will be, from the Health and Wellness Center, working with Fair Valley and giving them some of the excess supplies that we have to get them going so that they can support the families in that corner. So they'll have another campus to be able to get support. But Anna and her team are working very hard in pushing out, creating new partnerships as well for the Health and Wellness Center.
And what new programs and things what new things have you brought in? What was your question?
Yeah, what are the new things? Maybe if you can share some of the new, like I know what he brought, right? So
It's very similar, continuing the
that we have that we can provide for our families.
along with continuing the partnerships, trying to seek and work with more organizations to bring in more things. We have the Health and Wellness fair that's coming up. It's trying to find new partnerships there. We have Nikki also working with more organizations to provide support for vision, for hearing, for our families within the community. So she continues to make partnerships in that area. We continue to provide workshops for parents in multiple areas upon their requests on what supports they need working with their students, how to work with the students and engage them from home with their homework, getting them excited about college. So there are the monthly parent meetings that are being brought through the Health and Wellness Center virtually.
There on
They have been virtual. When Anna did the survey on that one, they still prefer to have it virtually because it's hard for them to get there in the evening. But her team does provide smaller, not PD, but smaller meetings with parents and families at a smaller number that continue to request the additional support on there.
Now, is this we're only supporting students who we are aware of and who are on these social workers caseloads or on a counselor caseload, and not necessarily just open to when somebody feels I'm in need of this, I know I can go to Mr. Sanchez.
Yes,
And he, where he works, there's X, Y, and Z.
It is open. It's more than just to those on the social workers caseloads. It's all of our community schools that are running right now do promote the Health and Wellness Center. So that's where a lot of the parents go. If the social workers are not able to be on that campus, our community schools are referring over to the Health and Wellness. And there we have Priscilla that takes in the calls, the views of the QR messages, invites the parents, set appointments for them. So they get that personalized private visit. A lot of our families are shy, and I'm going to say embarrassed, to ask for that help, to be able to do laundry on the Health and Wellness Center so they don't overbook, so that you don't have 5, 6 families there and watching and seeing who's there. So it is really private when they come in for supplies, to wash their clothing. It's set per appointment, and that's where they do an amazing job in giving them that privacy, allowing them to feel welcome. We do have sometimes people just within the community that heard about it, and we're there to support more than just our students, but also families and other people within the community of the surrounding area.
Recently, I went on a tour of ATP, Maria, and they were talking. I didn't know that you were supporting ATP in recreating the award-winning Colt Outfitters at ATP. So it'll be really great because our students there will get the same hands-on experience, and it will move from the high school to the ATP. So that's really great. Thanks for supporting.
Yeah. I had a comment in regards to like, I know the,
I'm back.
not you.
Oh, never mind.
Thank you for that. Like the middle schools, kind of like Maria was mentioning, like how are we supporting parents and students there? And I would say as someone that has a middle school student, it's an awkward age. I mean, like just dropping them off at school and picking them up. I mean, they want to get there, leave as soon as they can, right? So I know it's a difficult time for them to be able to really stay after school and engage in other stuff. But I will say, like, I do feel like as a parent, it would be kind of nice if there was a little bit more of that culture of how we get more involved in the middle school setting. And then I had another just comment to make. I know that I don't know when I had mentioned that my son was complaining about not having science camp. It's back, but it's really expensive. So I'm not sure if we're working, since it's one of the things that we definitely want to continue to provide for our students. It's like $500 to attend science camp. So just kind of like trying to figure out like how can we provide or support that program. I'm surprised my son didn't ask me to go. I mean, if he would have asked me, I would have, but it's expensive. So just something I kind of want to bring up. Well, I'm sorry. One other thing to add. I would like to see us look for a clinic or a place where we can partner that is local and not have, a list of resources where our parents could go for a physical or, vaccinations, but it's not locally. Like we have a list where it's like South Almani, right? Baldwin Park. I want us to find something here. Our families are here. I'm sure we can find a clinic here that can assist our families and we can partner with.
Okay, we will look into that. Thank you. Goal 4 is our equity multiplier focus goal for Fair Valley and CBLOA. These LCAP actions aim to elevate student engagement and academic outcomes by strengthening administrative support, providing a standards-aligned online curriculum, and high-quality learning environments that are prioritized to enhance our overall student success on those campuses. Fair Valley and CBLOA have expanded student opportunities this year. I'm excited to share some of their exciting work with you. They've created a new ceramics class, a business capstone course. They have dual enrollment classes, and they already to date have taken over 7 college field trips to schools like APU, Mount SAC, Cal State LA, and Cal Poly. To strengthen student and family engagement, their counselor and career clerk have led college and career workshops covering resume building, application support, and interview tips that aren't just offered to the students, but their parents as well. These sessions, along with ceramics nights that they've been holding for both schools, are offered both in person as well as they live stream them to give opportunities and accessibility for all their families. Does the board have any input on Goal 4 for the 25-26 LCAP?
You actually answered it. I did have about if they attended college field trip.
Yes, so they've already over 7 to date, and they have the most so far, and they have additional ones planned for the remainder of the school year.
Thank you for including them in that.
And if I could add, they're also they're having enrichment field trips. So they've gone to places like the Huntington Library, and they're doing things like that as well. It's wonderful.
I was gonna say, it's great to see that this is potentially some of our very high risk students that can drop out and maybe, they were already struggling. So it's great to give them an opportunity to re-engage their creativity, kind of re-engage themselves in the school culture and kind of dream like, yeah, I could go to college. Just because I'm at this school doesn't mean that I don't have options, whether it's career or college. So it is great to see that, honestly, as a district, that we're doing that.
Yeah, they've created also just purchased some really cool science kits that they'll be using for like hands-on labs in their science class. So they're really extending the opportunities provided to both campuses this year. So it's really exciting work that they're doing. Okay, I'd like to express my thanks and appreciation to Mrs. Tat and the business services team who have provided this mid-year LCAP expenditure update by goal for you that you can see up here. You can see the adopted budgeted amount in the left column, and then moving to the left are salaries and benefits paid through December 2024. Our expenditures through December 2024, remaining salaries and benefits for the remainder of the year, and then projected expenditures, which will bring our ending balances for each goal to 0. You can see to support LCAP goals, we commit a large portion, just over $24.4 million of our $32.4 million to salaries and benefits. After the adopted budget, I just wanted to note CVUSD did receive additional supplemental and concentration grant funding because our unduplicated count did increase. So these additional funds were reported at the first interim budget report by business services and were added to Goal 2 to support our educational programs, including salaries and benefits. As stated in the previous slide, about 25% of our supplemental and concentration grant funds are used for expenditures, such as academic software, one-to-one devices for students, teacher devices, professional development for services like Avid, Thinking Maps, UCI Math, Linda Mood Bell, and also materials and supplies to support all of our programs and practices. That leaves roughly 75% of our supplemental and concentration grant funds for salaries and benefits within all of our special programs across the district. So that includes high school counselors, CTE and AVID sections, teacher stipends, TK teachers and TK instructional aides, dual language teachers, EL support specialists, our VAPA teachers, social workers, and nurses, and that doesn't include everybody. All of our supplemental and concentration grant funds for the 24-25 school year have been allocated and will be expended, as I shared in the previous slide. Any new proposals for additional actions or services for the 25-26 LCAP would require a review of existing actions and services, which may lead to any kind of modifications and changes. In Covina-Valley, I have shown you this rotation or timeline of events that happen yearly for our LCAP process. It's an ongoing process. It never ends. As soon as it seems like it's ending, it starts right back up again. So we go through a thorough process of review, analysis, input, and development. So that's what you can see here. We begin by looking at last year's plan. We analyze and share data with you. We present our findings. We collaborate with our educational partners, and then we gather input throughout the school years for our annual update. From there, we revise and make any modifications to our annual update and our LCAP, which is then made publicly available for feedback before going to the board for approval. Once approved, it then moves to the county office level for approval. Right now, we are engaging with our educational partners to build upon the success of our first year of implementation. And then we're receiving input and feedback on our annual update. Here is the list of us making progress towards our 25-26 LCAP engagement process. So we've been meeting and consulting with our educational partners in preparation for that annual update I just spoke about. So through the next few months, I will continue to meet with our parent and community advisory groups, our student advisory council, which Dr. Dalton and I have already begun, and also a consultation with our unions or associations. The Ed Services team is excited to host our community meetings at the 3 high schools this spring. We will be having a new format for these meetings that will feature some brief presentations, and then we will have table talk discussions with each Ed Services director, where our parent and community members will be able to share and provide feedback with us. Additionally, our LCAP parent, community, and staff surveys will launch at the end of this month, and we will use this data to help inform our LCAP annual update. I will work with Dr. Blackmore in our communications department to launch the surveys in Parent Square, the district website, all over social media. We'll utilize our school marquees and our local community listservs as well, so we can try to reach all our educational partners. Thank you. Does the board have any additional questions for myself or my colleagues?
So your timeline and our community engagement, I know that that's something I think since we've all been on here that we've talked a lot about. We wanted to change. We want more community engagement. How has it changed since we've started, or since you've been in this role? What else are you doing to engage our families?
So we do have a number of parent advisory committees. That includes our LCAP parent advisory. This year, the format allowed for us to share a lot of data at every single one. We broke down each goal. So every time we shared data, we had a lot of feedback and questions, but then we also had activities related to each of those goals on the separate evenings, which allowed them, our parents and community at those meetings, to add input, share things that are going well, like we did last night, share things that we could do better on. And then we have our parents share amongst themselves their different group information that they've kind of consolidated. And then we do that same for our DAC DLAC, which are our elected representatives from each school site. And then I'm excited, we're going to be reformatting our community meetings. So our first one is going to be South Hills. I believe it's on the 27th. And so we're inviting, for example, Harmony will come, our CTE coordinator. She'll give a brief kind of overview of some of our really exciting pathways and CTE opportunities, as well as Dr. Dalton sharing college and career opportunities. We'll try to touch upon also our health and wellness. We'll invite Nikki and Anna to come and share. But in between each, we as directors in Ed Services will be sitting at tables with our community members, and we will have activities and lead them into opportunities for them to share information with us, which we will take down and then can share back with you.
I love that. Yeah, no, thank you for all of this. It's a lot of
Thank you so
information. We
much.
appreciate it.
It's
Great
a
job.
team effort in Ed Services. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Wright, it seems like our audience has dwindled. Is there any way that we could move up the public comments just one item, please? All right.
Bring the public comments. We'll come back to item 11. So item 12, public comments. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any agenda items will be granted 3 minutes. Ms. Robles, do we have any public comments?
We do have 2 public comments, and as a courtesy reminder to ensure the public's right to be heard, the board has adopted Board Bylaw 9323B, which states that 3 minutes may be allotted to each speaker and a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject matter. Education Code restricts action or discussion by board members on non-agendized items. Please understand that a non-response does not mean that members have not heard you or will not take your comments into consideration. Thank you. Our first board comment is Mr. Gabe Rios.
Good evening, board, and thank you for having me. Okay, I will be fast. My oldest daughter's in 6th grade, and my youngest daughter's in 5th grade. She performed in mariachi. She's with Dr. Mossman at Manzanita Elementary. I want to share something with you, my experience that I've had with Dr. Mossman, and I wish she was here, so hopefully one of you can relay the message. When I first started my daughters in kindergarten, I am a late deaf adult. I shared with her that, hey, we need to come up with a communication system. I cannot hear anything. If you call me at home, it's not going to work, right? So no problem. I shared with her that I needed an accommodation. I needed a sign language interpreter to be involved in my kids' education. We know there's a big correlation between home and school. I wanted to keep that. So we came up with a system. She was able to text me or email me, and every time we had a school function, Gabe, are you going to be there? Yes. Okay, I got an interpreter for you. No problem. This went on for 7 years. I think we had a miscommunication one time, but for the most part, I always had access to communication. And I wanted to tell her thank you, but also to the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of my child's education. It's neat. My daughter transferred to 6th grade. Somebody was talking about having a middle school. It's tough, but now that I have that access, it is awesome. It is great. And these teenagers are, sorry, they're a little bit crazy, right? It's hard. But yeah, they are. But Dr. Moss, man, the neat about her and the school board as well, you always include me. And having a disability, anybody who's gone through having a disability, we just want to be included. I say the antidote, the medicine for us people with the disabilities, if you include us, that's my medicine for me. Thank you for including me all the time. And Dr. Mossman, if you can share with her, tell her thank you as well. And the interpreters, they're okay. No, thank you, interpreters. They're okay. No, but it is always nice. The group before me that you were presenting, you were talking about making sure that the parents have access to all the information in their language. That's a big deal. I have it. You have some students that are coming from El Salvador, Nicaragua, all these different. If you provide those parents with that, their kids will be just as successful as my kids are. So thank you for that as well. So again, thank you. Good night, and be careful driving home.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you.
Great story.
Our next card is Steve Salenbach.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Ebenezer, congratulations on your recognition. Cabinet, my name is Steve Solbach. I'm the parent of a current senior at Covina High School. I just want to start by thanking the Board of Education and acknowledging the efforts made in allocating funding through Measure CC bonds and the federal allocation that Congresswoman Napolitano's office made towards the creation and the implementation of a new pool at Covina High School. It's encouraging to see these resources being used to benefit our students, especially when they're used to support sports that are often not considered mainstream or popular. Swim and now water polo is usually not the popular sports in most schools, at least in our area. So it's great to see that. At the recent Covina-Valley Unified State of the District meeting, I had asked the question regarding the status of the pool. Dr. Ebenezer, thank you for addressing that. Shared that the pool building was only waiting a final stucco completion, given the impression that everything else was pretty much ready to go. It was further shared that the completion date would be sometime around the end of April. As someone who is familiar with the process of modernization in school districts and the use of funds such as for these projects, I understand the challenges that come with construction and often the division of state architecture as well. However, I know that there are also other ways to actually open up facilities and take care of those final projects at the end as well. While April does not seem that far away, for our senior swimmers who have been hearing about a new pool for the last few years, that estimated completion date falls at the end of their league season, which means none of them will actually have the opportunity to compete in it. My hope is that if there is an opportunity to get our swimmers into the Covina pool sooner, efforts will be made to explore them. That said, if for any reason the pool cannot be utilized for the anticipated completion date, then I ask that an equitable solution of access to facilities be provided. One option would be to ensure that the Covina swim team has equal access to the Northview pool. And when I say equal access, it's not about access to it, but it's about ensuring that they're not the team that shows up at 5 p.m. to practice, that they have the opportunity to be there at 3 as well. I will share that for many years before the Covina pool or the Northview pool was built, you had Northview and Covina that used to share 3 lanes each at the Covina pool. So 14 lanes at Northview, I think is doable to allow both teams a reasonable time. See, I'm coming up on my time. So why is this of importance to me as a father? I share with you because this year Covina started a girls water polo team. And despite all the challenges of finding a facility to practice in, not having anywhere to compete at for their home, they actually
And I just wanted to make one comment. We are trying to get the pool filled and approved through the public health prior to the stucco being finished. So our goal is to get them in there early.
And Mr. Salenbach, I hear that you work in a very lovely district that I've heard of. You're not familiar? Okay, well, you know what? As somebody who, okay, maybe, but I would just like to say I am very happy that El Monte City School District has redone many of the special education classrooms, and I just want to, somebody who actually works there and loves it. It is so great for the students to have access to all these great materials and mats and bean bags and things that they can use. Well, I know this is not your time, but I just want to say that it's greatly appreciated. Even though you don't know that place. Okay. No. Have a good night.
Appreciate it. All right, so we'll come back to item 11. Item A, revised board policy 5030, student wellness. Mr. Correa.
Thank you, President Wright. Tonight we'll be discussing board policy 5030, student wellness. This is an existing board policy that is required, that is being revised to reflect changes in laws and processes since the last time it was updated in August of 2024. So it's been, I'm sorry, 2014. So it's been about 10 to 11 years since the last time it's been updated. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have or review anything you would like to review.
Surprisingly, I have no question. Penny, you're looking at me like, what is she gonna ask?
I don't have questions, so.
No, it looks like just a lot of the wording was just cleaned up. So.
Yeah, and that's there were some minor language changes, some reorganization, and then there were 2 new sections that are required by law that needed to be added. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Wright, I'd like to move for a 5-minute potty break.
Okay, I'll second.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Oh, I said potty break.
Roll call.
Karima Gonzalez. Yes. Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles.
Yes.
Maria Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
5-minute break. This brings us to item 13, superintendent board members, student board member comments. Dr. Emmenheiser.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank our outstanding performers today from Mesa, Manzanita, and Las Palmas. It was quite a treat, and I also wanted to recognize and thank our Body Lock for helping and contributing to our school community and our employees of the month. And then I do want to congratulate all of our student athletes. We had many, many successes this winter season, lots of league championships, and then South Hills High School cheer made the CIF championship, and I think that's the first CIF cheer championship for the district, but the first CIF championship for a while for South Hills High School. So it was really nice.
Thank you. Item B, board member comments. Ms. Robles.
No comments.
Dr. Cruz.
Just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow, and that's it.
Ms. Malucci.
Yes, real quick, I want to thank Isabel and Denise for sharing about their schools. Congratulations to all our employees of the month, very well deserved. Thank you to Dr. Emmenheiser on her prestigious award. Thank you to Body Lock for all their generosity for our wrestling programs. I really enjoyed Manzanita and Las Palmas' mariachi band and singers who performed, and also to Mesa students who performed for us. It's always fun to see the little ones come out and perform and sing for us, and wishing everybody a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Thank you. Ms. Caceres.
Hi, good evening. I just want to give a shout out to Gianna, who went out and represented, Covina Colts and Covina-Valley. Thank you. You're amazing. We love the work that you do. And hopefully, I think one thing that I would like to see is maybe seeing more of you showcasing the feeder track for Covina High School. So going out there, interviewing some kids, I think that would be awesome. Thank you. And then our team who presented today, thanks guys for your hard work and everything that you do on the daily.
Yeah, I'm going to try to make this quick. CIF champion cheer team, congratulations. They beat some really tough competition. Valencia High School is a 2-time CIF champions. Marquee teams like Newport Harbor, Huntington Beach, and Aliso Viejo. And Bishop Amat ended up getting 3rd. So they beat all those tough teams. It was really fun to watch. It's a really growing program. My daughter started 4 years ago, and she's really changed immensely. So kudos to the coaches over there. Yeah, congratulations to the winter sports. competing in CIF this weekend. And good luck to the winter sports competing in CIF this weekend. The wrestling, soccer, and basketball. Northview had 21 league champions, 10 boys and 11 girls. They're all going to CIF. Congratulations to them. Regarding the recognition, I think it's important to recognize people, especially alumni, who contribute to the development and growth of our student body. This is what we strive for, selfless promotion and investment in our students. Such an important piece of the education puzzle is our alumni who've developed here in Covina-Valley and have come back to add to the culture by giving back, whether it be time, money, or other resources. It's pretty valuable to the community at large. So thank you, alumni and community members, for what you do for our students. And finally, I had the utmost pleasure in visiting Barranca Elementary on Tuesday. Met many site personnel and staff members. What good-natured and humble people under what I see as exceptional new leadership in Principal Courtney Sawyer. I was very pleased and excited to see what their plans and goals are for the students, math and ELA. The veteran teachers and the second or third year teachers are a great mix of people, and I really had a good time learning what goes on there. One of the teachers on site used thinking maps to explain an IEP to parents, to much success and acclaim. So well done, Dr. Ammenheiser. What was her name?
It was our speech language pathologist there.
Yeah.
Sylvia Witt, I think.
Yeah.
At Branca.
Yeah, great job.
beginning
Anyway,
of the
thank you again, Branca, for such a great morning, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Can I give one last shout out
See.
to Miss Marcy Cueva, who, we talked to a lot of students, but, I personally got to speak to her when she was in her headspace about, continuing the sport, not doing sports, her academics. And it just shows that a lot of our students, it's, not just her, they have so much just passion for the sport, but academics is so important to them as well.
Talking about wrestling, right?
Yes, she's a wrestler. And it's just great. I'm very proud of her for continuing, and proud of all our kids who are athletes. So thank you. Yes, please let her know.
Thank you. Or have her listen to have her do the tape playback. That's tough. Item C, Student Board Member Report. Ms. Karime Gonzalez, representative from South Hills High School.
First, I would like to say thank you to all our performers tonight. They were absolutely amazing. Also, we love our new library. I'm in there at least 3 times a week. It's amazing, especially right now that it's raining. It's a very cozy place.
Did you get your furniture outside already or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
But inside's amazing.
It is very nice.
Congrats to our cheer team. They are doing amazing. I know we've congratulated them around school. Also, good luck to all of our sports that are competing this weekend. Boys and girls wrestling, the dance team, they're both competing tomorrow, I believe. Also, within sports, I've heard a lot of requests on a boys volleyball team. So maybe that could be something we look into within the future. Good job to our programs. Our business program competed at Bakersfield's. We won a booth design award, and we finished in round 4 for presentations. So did very good. Yeah. Our MET program has also been taking a lot of trips. I heard it's going well, but needles scare me, so I will not be over there. A lot of our Huskies also liked our winter formal, which was amazing. The DJ was probably one of the best DJs that we've had. I encourage everyone to come to Light Up the Night, which is on February 27th, and see what our school has to offer. Also, come to our theater show, which is March 27th, 28th, and 29th. I can say I'm in that, and it's going to be amazing.
All right.
So what is it?
Legally Blonde.
Oh. What are the dates again?
I'm just a dancer.
27th?
That's a lot.
March, right?
March 27th, 28th, 29th.
27th, 29th. Perfect.
I've also been hearing a lot of requests about looking into more shade around campus, even though it's raining right now, but once the sun gets out, it does get very hot around there. But yes, Happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys.
Thank you very much. Item 14, consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? I'll move.
I'll move. I'll second.
Ms. Malucci and a second, Dr. Cruz. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez.
Yes.
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles. Maria Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries 6-0. Item 15, action items. Item A, revised board Board of Education meeting schedule 2024, 2025. Recommendation is made that the revised Board Education meeting schedule 2024, 2025 be approved, reflecting a change in the open session start time to 6:30, while the closed session start time will remain at 5:30. Do you have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Um,
Any discussion?
so I would like to consider changing our start time to 6 for closed session and keep our 7 p.m. Open session time. It allows for parents to get home from work. Not a lot of our parents work locally. I know me coming from Fontana, it's hard sometimes to make it to the meetings on time at 5:30. So just, having parents coming from work, picking up their children. If you attended any of the meetings in previous years when our board meetings were at the district office, and that was our boardroom back then, there wasn't as much participation as there is now, I think. And I would like to think that it's because it starts a little later and it's not as early. I believe we did change the time, right?
No.
No?
We didn't change the open session time. We only changed the closed session. Closed session used to be after at the end, so we moved it to before.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on, it just allows for parents to get home, get their children, eat dinner if they can before coming over. Thinking about my parents' work schedule as well. I know that if I were a student now, they wouldn't be able to make it.
Well, I would definitely say as a parent and someone that has to be here at 5:30, after I pick up my son from South Hills, get them home, try to eat, it just feels very rushed. So I do like the 6 p.m. instead of 5:30.
I like the 5:30.
I
like the 5:30.
like the 5:30 too.
I like the 5:30. I mean, me personally, just because I get off at 5. I mean, I know you guys drive a little further and stuff like that. And I'm already over on this side of town, which that's not what this is all about. But I think for our employees, I mean, we've all worked long days, and that half an hour, I think, just will help like them so they're not as late into the evening, because these can become very long days.
And they do, and it is longer days, but we have cut it back to
A little bit
one.
longer days.
We have cut it back to one meeting a month, right? We don't do this every day. We're staying this late, and at the end of the day, it is about the families.
How about 5:45?
Bam. Because I don't care either way, and I'm not going to be the deciding vote. So I say 5:45.
So we're
But I
so
think
what we're actually changing on here is
Yeah.
when we start open session.
Open
It's-
session.
And that was at 7 o'clock. We're already here for at 5:30. The idea was we're already here at 5:30. We've been making it for 2 years. We don't need an hour and a half in closed session.
Are you sure?
Well,
I mean, today.
yeah, right. That was coming into today, but it's really about having an hour, just an extra 30 minutes, and think about all the recognitions we have over the next couple months. Into the summer. I just think it's just pushing it too late. I know, like, my wife would want to be out of here sooner. I mean, there's
But
people that like
your
to
wife also works locally, though.
True, we are local. So, but the
Mhm.
local people want to be a little bit earlier because we're just twiddling our thumbs while you guys are driving on the freeway.
Yes, but I think the majority of our population isn't local, doesn't work from home.
You want to?
So I move there's a 5:45 start time.
So we can start at 5:45, and then when do we want to do open session? We still do it at 6:30? Because I think at this point we're not really. I think we're talking past each other.
You have a first and a second, so you are required to vote on this one.
Yeah.
Vote on the way it is because somebody did.
Because you had a first and a second.
We're just discussing now, but
Yeah, we can.
So
Yeah,
now we
we.
have to
So
vote.
okay,
so
roll
yeah,
call.
we would have to vote. I mean, that's my recommendation is that we keep it, you either keep it as is or change our start time for closed session to 6 and leave our open session, which is considered of our families, to 7 p.m.
Let's do the vote first, and since it was the first and second, and then
Karima Gonzalez,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
yes.
Maria Caceres,
No.
Rachel Robles,
Rachel doesn't care. I pick no.
Maria Cruz,
No.
and Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion.
I move we have a start time at 5:45. Is there a second?
Yeah, it is overtime.
There's no second. That dies.
So we still have an hour,
I
an
move.
hour and a half.
I move that we start closed session at 6 p.m. with leaving open session at 7 p.m.
I'm sorry,
That
we
has to
would
be the
have to
new
add that
agenda.
as a new item to the next agenda.
So this fails. So 2 to 3 is the sorry. I heard 3 to 3.
It's 3-3.
It is 3-3. However, Ms. Gonzalez's vote is considered a preferential vote, so it is actually a 2 to 3. So the motion died. So that means that the start time for closed session remains where it is, and open session remains where
Maria,
it is.
5:30.
So 5:30.
Sorry. Chief, nothing. Item B, authorization for use of approved OETC contract with Verkada. Recommendation is made that the OETC procurement number OETC-21B- camera and video authorization for district staff to utilize this contract for procurement of camera and video solutions and related services be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item C, approval of vape sensors, cameras, and command connector with Verkada at Trawick Middle School. Recommendation is made that the agreement with Verkada to provide vape sensors, cameras, and command connector with related services for Trawick Middle School be approved. Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez,
Yes.
Simon Wright,
Yes.
Maria Caceres,
Yes.
Rachel Robles,
Yes.
Maria Cruz,
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item D, approval of district office and high school site network equipment replacement project, RFP number 24-25-106. Recommendation is made that the District Board of Education approve CDW Government LLC as the provider for the district office and high school site network equipment replacement project, RFP number 24-25-106 be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez.
Yes.
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles. Marie Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item E, award of bid. Bid number 24-25-102. District-wide electronic marquee replacement at District Field, Covina, Northview, South Hills High School, and Las Palmas Middle School to Square Signs LLC, DBA front signs. Recommendation is made that the Board of Education award the bid summary number 24-25-102, district-wide electronic marquee replacement at District Field, Covina, Northview, South Hills High School, and Las Palmas Middle School, and approve a contract for services to Square Signs LLC, DBA front signs in the amount of $272,000. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Moved by Ms. Bellucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez.
Yes.
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles.
Yes.
Marie Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item F, resolution number 24-25-09, authorizing filing of applications for State Allocation Board administered programs. Recommendation is made that resolution number 24-25-09, authorizing filing of applications for State Allocation Board administered programs, be approved. Approval of this resolution will allow the district to proceed with application submissions to secure critical funding for facilities planning and development. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
Moved by Ms. Bellucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Karima Gonzalez.
Yes.
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles.
Yes.
Marie Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item G, Covina-Valley Association of School Psychologists Sunshine Proposal 2024-25. Recommendation is made that Covina-Valley Association of School Psychologists, CVASP, Sunshine Proposal for 2024-25 be approved. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move.
I'll second. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call?
Karima Gonzalez.
Yes.
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles.
Yes.
Marie Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Item 16, new items. Board members and the superintendent must share any new items. Anything to share, Dr. Ammenheiser?
Not at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Gonzalez? Dr. Cruz? Ms. Robles? Ms. Malucci?
Nope, I'm good.
Ms. Caceres?
No.
Thank you. I don't have anything either.
Yes.
Okay, so item 17, closed session. The board will resume closed session for further discussion at 9:31. This takes us to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, where? Oh, report of action taken in closed session. In closed session, the board voted unanimously to approve the compromise and release agreement for student case number 2024120012. And this takes us to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn at 11 o'clock?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Malucci. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Caceres. Any discussion? Roll call?
Simon Wright.
Yes.
Maria Caceres.
Yes.
Rachel Robles.
Yes.
Marie Cruz.
Yes.
Sue Malucci.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Our next regular board meeting will be held on Thursday, March 13th at 5:30 p.m. for closed session and 6:30 p.m. or 7 o'clock p.m. for open session at the Haynes Professional Development Center. The special board meeting scheduled for Thursday, March 27th has been canceled.